Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about literature review. What is it? It's one section of your journal paper, conference paper, term project, thesis, dissertation, technical report, or a grant proposal that gives references to other papers, other documents, other books, other researchers done in the past. And why do we need it? We need it to prove a few points. And today I'm going to talk about 4 of those. The first one is we want to give a general background about the field that we are trying to do a research in. For example, I'm doing a research in single machine scheduling. So what is it? In what area is it? And who has started it? How has it evolved in the past? Basically, you're trying to give an introduction and some background to the audience or the reader. And the second type, the second type of literature review is, or citation, is when you want to show the significance of your work. You want to show, you want to tell the reader why this field is important. Why are you, why is it worthy of their attention? All right, so you need to throw some numbers that signifies the importance of your project. And to do that, you basically reference other documents and throw some numbers that shows, for example, airline industry has spent this X amount of dollars on this specific problem, so therefore it's important. All right, something like that. We will look at some examples. The third type is when you want to do something new in a very well-established field. So, for example, I want to, we will see an example where I'm trying to introduce having multiple operations in operations and maintenance planning problem. Okay. So I want to give reference to other researchers who have already proposed or advised the community that we need to think about this issue. All right. So I'm using their work or what they have said in the past to show that what I'm trying to propose makes sense. It's important. It's not a nonsense addition to a very well-established field. And the last one, which is the bulk of your literature review, probably, unless your work is a survey of other or a review of other papers, is when you want to compare your work with the work of others, with others who have tried to solve the same problem or others who have tried to talk about the same issue. So you want to talk about them in 3 steps. First, you want to say what they have done. Second, how similar it is to yours. And third, how different it is from yours. Or what is different from yours. What is similar to yours, what is different from yours. And this way you're distinguishing your work from the work of others, or you're saying that you're just adopting or implementing what others have already done. Okay, so we'll look at examples of each one of these 4 categories, and then I'll give some other points, other tips on how to basically find these papers and how to reference them. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you some examples. Okay. Here we go. So here you see a paper that I wrote a while ago. The title is Integrated Preventive Maintenance and Flow Shop Scheduling Under Uncertainty. So this paper is doing something about flow shop scheduling. Flow shop scheduling is already a well-established field. And this is about integrating it with preventive maintenance. And what's new is that it's under uncertainty. Anyways, what I want to show you here is if you go to this introduction part, where I'm talking about the problem itself. Here I'm giving a background of flowchart scheduling. Flowchart scheduling has been studied by many researchers after Johnson introduced it in 1954. And then I talked about how it has evolved, key points in time where other researchers have helped the field evolve or change or have introduced new topics to it. And also I talk about maintenance, importance of maintenance in flowchart scheduling. So that way, basically, I'm telling the author, telling the reviewer or the reader that, hey, this is an important field and this is how it has started and evolved as a field of research or as a technical field, basically. The second type is, this is a paper that my students wrote. It's about mission scheduling, like this is flight test missions. So here, this is the second type. Remember, we are talking about the significance of the paper, the significance of the research. So here they are saying that in fiscal year 2021, the cost of flight testing has been estimated to be around, I don't know, $150 million. And there is a reference to it, one. Okay. This one is at the end, the first reference at the list of references, in the list of references. So we are throwing a number and we are saying that we're not guessing it. We are not just estimating it. There is a document, there is an official document that says this number is true. And I'm just drawing your attention to this number to show that if we solve this problem and save some money, it's going to be significant. Okay, so the third type of citation that I talked about is when you want to do something new in a well-established field. So here I'm trying to do I'm trying to do something in flight and maintenance planning, or in more general for operations and maintenance planning, OMP. And there I'm trying to introduce the concept of having multiple operations in the planning, in the scheduling or planning problem. And in doing so, to reassure the reader or reviewer that I'm not doing something totally crazy, I'm referencing other researchers that have mentioned why this is having multiple operations in OMP, operation maintenance planning, has been addressed in the literature. And these are examples of that. Okay. And the last one, which is the, as I said, the most common, is going to be the bulk of your project, your writing, is comparing your work. Okay, here I said, give you some background about the problem. Second example, I said why it's important. This is a specific problem that I'm trying to solve. And the third one, I'm saying why if I'm doing something new in this field, have other people thought about it? And then here, I will try to distinguish my work from other people who have tried to address or solve the same problem or talk about the same issue. Here I'm in the fourth category, I'm trying to distinguish my work from theirs. Okay. How do I do that? 3 steps again. What did they do? What is similar between what they did and my research? And third, how is my research different from theirs? Okay, the difference justifies writing a new paper or justifies or talks about the importance of your work. For example, here, this paper written again by my students is about multidisciplinary team formation for projects in aerospace industry. It's basically a mathematical optimization problem for team formation, choosing a set of people from a pool of candidates that optimizes some objective function. So here, as you see, other papers are mentioned. For example, we et al here means their colleagues, their co-authors. This is the last name. In 2009, and to see what exactly this paper is, you have to go through the list of references. At the end, you see that we and other researchers or their co-authors had a paper with this title, published in this journal, this issue, this year, these pages. That's a perfect, accurate reference. But anyways, first we are saying what they did. They propose a genetic algorithm and social network measures for choosing team manager and team members. And then they essentially did something similar. They're forming a team. And then what's different, the model we present in this study uses known experiments data to assign work. Also, we're making a claim here and is easier to implement. Either I have to prove in this paper that it's easier, or I have to reference another paper that says using experimental data makes it easier. Okay. So anything you say in a research paper or thesis or dissertation or grant proposal has to, any claim that you make has to be proven, or you need to say, I want to prove it as the mission of your research. Okay, so there are other things, questions. First of all, should I write it like this or like this one? Just put a number. These are citation styles. And when you use a citation manager software such as EndNote, that software basically, you can set in it how the citations are. What is the style? Is it APA, IEEE, or there are other numeric, such as this one, Arabic, different types of citation styles. Depends on where you want to submit it. Different journals or conferences or libraries, they prefer different styles. So make sure that you ask about their preferred style. And the next question is, how do I find these papers that are relevant to mine? Well, the best reference is the easiest, basically, is Google Scholar. So you just go to Google Scholar and type in the keywords relevant to your project. For example, here I type in information. And then here you see a list of papers listed here. It starts from the most cited ones. So it says cited by 283. It means 283 papers, books, dissertations, thesis have mentioned this paper. So it means that it's an important paper, right? And also you can filter them here to only see the most recent ones, 2022. Why do we do that? In well-established fields where you see thousands of papers, it's really difficult to mention all of them. So it's best to just review the most recent ones. Also, when you want to mention it at the end, if you're not using a software, these are different styles here. If you click on cite, you will see APA, Chicago, Harvard, different styles that you can copy and add at the end of your references. And also you can export this to EndNote, BibTeX, and different, save it as a file, basically, that those citation manager softwares will read and add to your library. Okay, but citation manager software packages are a different story. They deserve a different video, basically. But I'm sure the library in your university or institution will probably teach you how to do that. Okay, let's say I look at this list and not all of these are relevant to what I'm doing. So as you saw, the information we were looking for was a mathematical optimization. We were using a mixed integer linear program. I want to find other people who have done the same thing, very similar to mine, so I can compare my work with theirs. So here I put information and then I add mixed integer linear program. Then the list is further refined. I'm more likely to see things that are more relevant to my work. Here I find one that has information in it and mentions mixed integer linear program. It's a perfect paper that I found. I wanted to see what's in it. It says a comprehensive review. Some papers are called survey papers or review papers. These papers for different research fields, such as team formation, it's a field of research. Their goal is to basically go over all the papers, all the important papers that have addressed that or worked on that problem. So these are, it's basically just the literature review. The whole thing is a literature review. In that case, these are very good if you're doing a thesis or dissertation. I recommend that you first find a paper like this, because it has already done the research, done the work. It has summarized all the papers relevant to your work. So it's best to look at these first. And then there you will find the most similar ones, then you can focus on those. Okay, if it says a PDF here, it means you already have access to the PDF file. And if not, you have to copy the title, take it to your university library website, and hopefully you'll find it there. But let me click on it. See, it will take me directly to the paper. Here you see it has gone over all the papers. It has classified all the papers, all the other work that have worked on team formation. It's classifying them, which is very helpful, gives you good ideas and shows you some mixed integer linear programs that are relevant to that field. I don't know what your field or what your project is when you're watching this video, but let's start from here, type in the keywords and add more keywords that refines the list and shows you the most similar ones. Okay, the next question may be, how many papers should I cite? How many should I mention in my literature review part of my paper, thesis, dissertation? It really depends on how in-depth your work is going to be or where you want to submit it. If you're watching this video because you want to do a term project for my class, I usually expect to see 7 to 8 papers compared with yours. So if it's a team of 3, each one of you can look at 2 similar papers and summarizes them, compares them with yours. How do you need to read the entire paper? Not really. First, you just look at the title. If you think it's relevant to your work, you go further, read the abstract. If it's really similar to your work, then you can look at their models. Or usually the abstract and conclusion give you a very good idea of what they have done and how different is their work from yours. If you're working on your thesis or master project, master thesis, then you need to do a little more work, making sure that you have covered all the most similar works. And of course, if you're doing a survey paper similar to the one that we found here, you have to basically investigate all the existing papers. Okay, so that was it. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you do a successful literature review for your thesis, dissertation, term project, technical report, or grant proposal. Thank you very much.